Welcome back. We're just about to get into the newspapers this morning. I'm not going to tease Israel about it, but if you're just waking up, good morning. And I hope your day is amazing as you are. But shall we get into the news?
The mere mention of the fact that you're not going to tease me is a tease.
Hey, why?
Why didn't you?
Okay, Israel. I think I'm rubbing off on Israel. Like, this is okay. I think okay. We could go on the whole day, you know. But
right.
Maybe we should get into the
let's get
graphic.
into the newspapers here. In the Daily Graphic, we're starting with the Daily Graphic. Protecting democracy, internal vigilance enhanced. President declares. And this story is quite interesting, so I'll read a bit. Internal vigilance will be enhanced to prevent anti-democrats from subverting the established system, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has declared. We shall not let our guard down and allow the clammy embrace of the people by anti-democrats who are disdainful and incapable of effective popular mobilization through accepted channels, but who want shortcuts to power without the express support of the people, he said.
This presidential... and it's President Akufo-Addo
delivering the opening address of at the 2021 Annual Delegates Conference of the Ghana Bar Association in Bolgatanga yesterday. The president said the nation had derived enormous benefits from democracy, and it was important that internal vigilance was enhanced to prevent any incursion from persons who had no belief in democratic governance. So yes, he goes on and on. He talks about the Fourth Republic and how beneficial it has been to the people. He says he observed that the decision by the citizenry to choose the path of democratic governance had ushered the country into the longest and uninterrupted history of stable constitutional and democratic rule. And then he provided data. He says, providing data, President Akufo-Addo said there was no doubt that all aspects of national life had seen significant improvement under democratic dispensations compared to the periods of military rule. Indeed, if we're comparing to the period of military rule, yes, definitely you say that there's been significant improvement. But I think we expect a whole lot more.
I think we like to compare where we are to the West.
Yeah. Essentially.
So then if you do that in your life, if you compare where you are now to the lowest points of your life, you'll always say, oh, you know, this is the best we've been. Charlie, money not there, our pockets inside. There are plenty big English. It should just translate to better salaries, better social welfare systems, better, Charlie, you know, just do the work. Like, Charlie, me there.
You know, I'm sure people, I mean, when we're Democrat, we're voting. You know, we voted for the new referendum and wanted to be ushered into a democratic dispensation. We had high hopes.
They speak big English this morning.
I think we're going to be a whole lot better. A whole lot better. So, yes. Well, let's get on. There are more stories. Gunmen free 240 prisoners in Nigeria. The heavily armed men raided a jail in South Central Nigeria and freed 240 inmates, almost everyone in the prison. The attackers started a gun battle with guards late last Sunday at the medium security prison at Kaba in the Kogi State, southwest of the federal capital Abuja, and a spokesperson for the correctional service said. And Somali woman makes rare presidential bid. Niger's president pledges to tackle terror and insecurity, and Guinea opposition warns against sanctions on junta. Okay, so they're saying you shouldn't threaten. A leading figure in Guinea's opposition has urged regional bloc ECOWAS not to impose economic sanctions on Guinea's new military regime, describing the recent coup as a welcome development. All right, let's move to page 9. Israeli Prime Minister makes first visit to Egypt. UK to launch trial of revolutionary cancer test. UN host Afghanistan donor conference. And moving to page 13, incorporate prostate cancer treatment into NHIS, patient petitions, president and parliament. And prostate cancer, the fact sheet on this story is that prostate cancer is marked by an uncontrolled growth of cells in the prostate gland. The prostate is the walnut-sized gland in men, located just below the bladder and in front of the rectum surrounding the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of the bladder. The prostate produces and stores fluid that helps to make semen. Yes. In other words, sperm.
Okay.
Oh, is it the same thing?
I don't think so. I think there's a difference. I just can't remember what it is.
Okay, so the semen is the fluid, and then the sperm is found in the...
Okay, so yesterday it was Pornhub, today is semen. Okay, Israel.
We're doing a bit of biology.
Yeah, we are doing a bit of biology. I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing. I couldn't resist. But yeah, check your, I was going to say check your balls, but check your prostate. Yeah, prostrate. Yeah.
Whatever. Threat to kill Agradaa. That's another story on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Reverend Owusu-Bempah, 4 others caged. So the General Overseer of the Glorious Word Power Ministry International, Reverend Isaac Owusu-Bempah, and 4 of his church members had to spend 1 week in police custody. Oh, 1 week? As we were remanded by Accra Circuit Court yesterday for allegedly threatening to kill the self-acclaimed evangelist Patricia Udro-Kranting, a.k.a. Nana Agradaa. Apparently, so the prosecutors have accused Reverend Owusu-Bempah of storming Nana Agrada's house with 45 heavily built macho men and threatening to kill her. All right, so that video actually went viral. It's been making the rounds. And apparently, there were some media men who were attacked. The story says accused persons were brought to the court under heavy police escort, with many members of the church trooping to the court premises to support their leader. Journalists who went to the court to cover the case had a torrid time. Majority of them were prevented from entering the courtroom, while those who entered were threatened by some of the church members for writing about the case. Look, why are we having church members threatening journalists? Why are we having pastors threatening fellow pastors?
I really don't. I've thought about this.
It's sending 45 macho men to want to, well...
I don't know. But you know what's interesting about this case is that so Reverend Owusu-Bempah's lawyers, were saying that, he has a fixed place of abode, he's a revered man of God and all of that. So obviously, if he's not going to, disappear or anything. But he was still held in custody because the prosecution said that if they let him go, he would interfere with, the investigation one way or another. And I just find that very disturbing that a man of God would have a reputation like that.
Well, now we call them so-called men of God.
You know what I mean? The whole thing is just disturbing. It really worries me as well. I don't think I can explain accurately how much it worries me, because these kinds of things have a direct, they reflect directly on how we see God.
Yeah.
And so Christians...
Well, how non-Christians?
How non-Christians, even some Christians, because Christians get a lot of slack for a lot of bad behavior. And we are very badly behaved, a lot of the times. But sometimes you kind of hope that those who, are in leadership positions will hold themselves to a certain standard of, that's exemplary, or that's, not, I don't know. But then again, I mean, Jesus went into the temple and just beat them up and threw away their stuff, but is this the same thing? No. Well,
if Jesus was around,
he would be beating people here. It would not be. It would not be.
He'd be throwing slaps left, right.
Yeah. But it's unfortunate. I mean, it really pains my heart.
It is. Yeah. Right. Also in the Daily Graphic, surcharge irregularities occupy Ghana demands. So this is also very interesting. On September 7th this year, while the Chief of Staff was busy writing to appoint Mr. Johnson Ekuamwa Esiedu as the Auditor General, Occupy Ghana, a pressure group, was also busy making new demands on the man who watches over the proper use of the national purse. The group observed that the Auditor General in the 2019 and 2020 audit reports reneged on his power to issue disallowances and surcharges to all persons identified to have been either engaged in or responsible for the illegal use of funds. Now, then there's a response from the Auditor General. It says, however, the Auditor General insists that he was doing the work as mandated by law and would not allow anybody to push him to do things that were not part of his work. But yes, surcharges and irregularities are part of the work of the Auditor General. And in fact, the Occupy Ghana went to court and got that. So the previous Auditor General, Yao Domilovo, who was actually levying those surcharges. Okay, let's see how that goes. Politics, rekindle commitment for MPP victory. Minister urges women's wing. And I'm focused on providing development. Brim North DCE. MPP declares September mass registration month. This will see the party undertake a nationwide exercise of compiling a register of all members of the party, as well as persons wishing to become members. And DCE advocates mandatory for assembly members. And former President Mahama is urging government to complete abandoned projects. And on page 20, Dr. Baumir's mom goes home today. You know, the vice president lost the mom yesterday.
Yeah.
And she's been buried today. So there's some photos here of people, the president and others who went to pay condolence to him. Now, also we move to page 22. Taxi driver remanded over ritual murder claims. World Vision build health center for Modaso. Do not impede Keta water project. Sanitation minister to encroachers. In the center spread, pay your taxes. President urges lawyers. And one of the quotes in there says, if this country is to develop the way we all crave for, then the payment of taxes must become a regular and unquestioning feature of our lives. It is very important that, we pay our taxes. But it is also very, very, very important that the taxes that we pay, taxes are used judiciously and the taxes are not wasted. If people steal the taxes, we should get it from them. So, yes, I agree with the president. We need to pay our taxes, but our taxes should also not be wasted. Ending more practice, Education Ministry WAEC to serialize question papers. Tourism inspectors improve capacity for effective service delivery. And equip students with knowledge, practical experience. DTR urges technical universities. Then moving on, education, International Literacy Day marked in Cape Coast. Justify investment in your education. TVET Commissioner tells candidates. And moving on, page 33, another very interesting story for me. Goods sold are not returnable. Monstrous phrase killing consumers. You know, we get that all the time. Well, in Ghana. It's only in Ghana that you tend to get that. Well,
what?
Goods sold are not returnable.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently the use of the phrase goods sold are not returnable to deny shoppers or buyers their right to return goods purchased. Goods purchase is not captured anywhere under the laws of Ghana. So why are they using that against?
The goods sold are not
returnable.
I don't know. Because as for Ghana, all things are possible.
Because, if you buy something and there's good reason why you want to return.
Yeah, but you know, even in the US and in the UK, when you take something back for a refund, there's a certain integrity that has to have been kept, with the product.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you say the same here? If you want to take something back, will it be... I mean, chances are you buy soap, you've broken the seal, and decide I don't like the smell, and then you take it back.
Well, yeah. No, but it should be allowed.
So to make... But even in the US and UK, if you've broken the seal, you can't take it back.
So, if you've broken the seal, you can't take it back.
Yeah, but we understand those things when we are there. But when we're in our own country, we don't understand. You fight with the storekeeper. I understand why. I mean, some businesses just, take up that policy because of the way that we are, Israel.
It's true. Well, you have a point. Small-scale mining can solve poverty. That's a lecturer saying that. Outstanding businesses, individuals on it for sustaining local economy. Student delivers while writing WASI. That's good. So following the first incident, about 12 more female students, all in final year, in writing the ongoing WASI, have been found to be pregnant and due this month. Okay, so we're likely to see more deliveries in the examination hall. Businessman in trouble over $1 million gold scam.
Israel.
Yes.
You've done 13 minutes.
I have?
Yes.
Yeah, but we've been having conversations.
No, we haven't.
We have?
No, we haven't.
Okay, you're still disrupting me. Ignore COVID-19 myths, get vaccinated, TUC urges members. So do you want me to stop?
No, it's fine. Go.
Graphic business, banks chase T-bills. While they do that, they starve businesses of loans.
Oh.
It's also a very important story. That's why I'm bringing you all the important stories.
Okay, Israel.
Okay, since you're putting pressure on me, it's okay. I'm doing sports. Queens in Lagos for Aisha Buhari turning, and Akuno sacked for poor performance. In hockey, top official doubts Ghana's success in upcoming tennis. And finally, Kumasi Central Market finally pulled down, and government resettles residents around Tangwe Irrigation Dam. Those who lost their property should let go. If you do not sacrifice something, you can never get anything good. I'm done.
At last, okay. 14 minutes. Wow. Let's move on to...
How many minutes did you take?
I didn't... Even if I took 2 minutes, you still did 12, Israel.
You did. You took more like 4 minutes.
Okay, let's move
on.
Let's move on to the front page of the Ghanaian Times this morning. Cannot with Israel. At the GBA confab in Bolga, 60,000 professionals evade tax. Lawyers, accountants, doctors, politicians, culprits. That's according to the president. Reverend Owusu-Bempah, 4 others remanded in police custody over death threat assault. Businessman defrauds colleague of $100,000.
So this Reverend Owusu-Bempah story, I've done all the work for you. You don't have to go into the details.
Okay, Israel. Let's move on to page 5 of the Ghanaian Times. 75 abducted children released amid army crackdown. Nigeria mass prison escape after fierce gun battle. On page 6 and 7, UN, Afghans face their most perilous hour. The United Nations is seeking to raise more than $600 million in aid for Afghanistan, warning the country is facing a major humanitarian crisis. There's a plea for global support. Put welfare of citizens above parochial interest. That's on page 7. Has the Kente become a worldwide icon of style? There's a feature on Kente in the news. Papers this morning use church platforms to preach road safety. Agradaa children resort to filling potholes and begging for alms. Will re-strategize to capture when she sees participate in the governance process. That's according to Josephine Nkrumah, who has been speaking there. Education Minister tours WASI centers. And across center spread that story about the president, 60,000 professionals evading tax. NMC appoints committee of experts to find ways to transform GBC. And then that story about Reverend Owusu-Bempah also in the middle page of the Ghanaian Times. Fisheries law will be strictly enforced. That's according to Howard Kumsin. The Indian High Commissioner is advocating rural industrialization for Ghana. And, okay, President cuts sought for construction of phase 2 of UHAS campus. Mexican ambassador urges intra-Muslim relationships. Okay, so that's in terms of business and stuff. Okay, lending rates could drop 10 to 15% if economic fundamentals improve. Oil prices are climbing, gold prices are declining. That's happening in the world. And of course, major sports news story this morning is GFA sacks Akono and 2 assistants. 3-member committee formed and asked to find a replacement within 72 hours. That's very interesting. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times, Ministry of Education officials dispatched to inspect Hojo SHS in the Volta region following Ghanaian Times publication. And Honey Valley Presby Polyclinic progressing. I'm going to go straight into the Daily Guide because we don't know what Israel will do with the Business and Financial Times. On the front page of the Daily Guide this morning, Owusu-Bempah caged over Agradaa, Baumia loses mum. Biposo killer driver walking free and pay your taxes. That's according to President Akufo-Addo. Some international stories. Macron's ex-bodyguard goes on trial over May Day assaults. Nigerian prisoners on the run after raid by gunmen. And thousands flee forest fires in southern Spain. That's international news in the Daily Guide. In other stories, Ridge Hospital gets temporary COVID-19 isolation center. The Swami interchange will be ready by 2024. I won't allow Diana Hobson to lead Gamro. That's according to Akosua Ajipong, who has been speaking. Wizkid Beyonce win 2021 MTV VMA with Brown Skin Girl. Do you love that song? Shatawale accuses 3 music awards of favoritism. Were you going to say something?
I thought you were asking me if I love that song.
Oh, no. Do you? I wasn't, but I could ask. You do?
Yeah.
Have you heard Kanye West's gospel version?
No.
Okay. It's an interesting version.
Okay.
Other stories: amplify African culinary flavors. Government airs to ensure public assets. Ajinasari hails Let Accra Work campaign. Of course, that has to do with the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Quartey. Tema Motorway Interchange Phase 2 is going to start in November. Taxi driver remanded over ritual murders claim. And Bernard Amankwa gears up for celebration of his grace concert. Music has more power than words. That's according to Right Reverend Professor Joseph Obriye Boamante. Kobe Psalm bags 10 nominations at the 2021 Urban Gospel Music Awards. And, of course, on the back page of the Daily Guide, GFA sacks Akono, new coach expected in 72 hours. That should be interesting. I wonder if they're going to stick with the Made in Ghana thingy that they have going on.
I don't know. I'm not sure if we can. Anyway, let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Bet Power. Okay. Ghanaian creatives are taking the fight against malaria to our screens with launch of the Underestimated Villain film. Okay. So the movie is called Underestimated Villain, and it's on the obviously the mosquito is the underestimated villain. So it's about malaria advocacy. That's it for the Ghanaian Times and the Daily Graphic, done in about 7 minutes.
Okay. Let's do the Business and Financial Times. Let's make tax payments a habit. That's the president saying that. Pension fund share of equities market dips. 289,000 jobs created so far by 106 1D, 1F firms. That's the Trade Ministry saying that. And Ghana Tourism Authority targets 10,000 beneficiaries under Ghana Cares Skills Project. So that's a BNFT done in less than 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you want to just do the finder?
So the finder, court remands Reverend Owusu-Bempah and 4 others. GFA sacks CK Akono and 2 deputies. Shops for new coach. Tributes pour in for Dr. Baumia's mother. Disallow and surcharge regular expenses. Occupy Ghana charges Auditor General. But the Auditor General says, please don't push me. And let me do my job. Make paying taxes a habit. That's President Akufo-Addo admonishing Ghanaians. And we also want protection of the public purse to be a habit. And ADB wins Bank of the Year at National Business Honors. So that will be it for the finder. Okay,
let me do the Daily Statesman real quick, then we go to My Joy Online. No way for anti-democrats. Akufo-Addo warns. Now, there's a rabies outbreak in Tema West Municipality. The Tema West Municipality is topping reported cases of rabies. $120 million Greater Kumasi Area Sanitation Project is set to start next month. WASI candidates have been urged to exhibit discipline during their exams, and Ghana is gearing up for World Tourism Day celebrations. Okay, that should be interesting. The taxi driver has been arrested for confessing to ritual killing on radio, which is quite interesting that he would do that. All set for the 2021 Miss Health Ghana Showdown. Akon on Michael K. Williams' death. Rich people have more issues than the poor. So a few days ago, actor Michael K. Williams died. And a lot of the celebrities have been speaking about that. Really sad. May his soul rest in peace. Efforts underway to end Somalia leaders' spat. Tunisian president indicates plans to amend the constitution. Nigeria kidnap crisis. Letters replace phones. I brought you that story yesterday. And some sports. It was literally 2 hands. Man City unhappy as extraordinary goal ends Spurs shock win. Ibrahimovic, 39, returns from injury to score in his 24th league season. Hearts of Oak lose. Oh, so much joy that a story has been repeated. Hearts of Oak lose to Accra Lions in friendly ahead of the CAF Championship League. Salah scores 100th Premier League goal in Liverpool win. Yes, you'll never stand alone. And Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta expects more from Thomas Partey in this season. And that's it for the Daily Statesman. I think we're going to go straight onto myjoyonline.com.
All right, so on myjoyonline.com, the top story, the judge erred in ruling on Rastafarian students at Achimota School AG appeals court. Okay. Reverend Owusu-Bempah hospitalized after court denies him and 3 others bail. And criticizing, this hospitalization thing, it appears that's a trick most of these prominent people use.
Yeah.
They find themselves
in trouble,
being caged. All right. Criticizing court rulings, not tantamount to denigrating the judiciary. Maliba. Free SHS program was implemented to simply win votes. Brigadier General retired Nunu Mensah. There have been attempts to undermine public confidence in the judiciary. Godfred Dami. Rachel Meda, court remands taxi driver. And a GFAXO sets up committee to search for new Black Stars coach and assistants. COVID-19, Ghana's death toll, now 1,098. And government owes contractors 5 billion cedis. Road Contractors Association. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
The government has to pay. And, well, that's a tough one. In the opinions, in fact, if we move down there, in the opinions, we have a couple of stories there. I would encourage you to go check out. Okay, so Bright Simmons, GMPC's incompetence forced ENI to resort to arbitration. And Eric Aite of My Joy Online, he's written a nice article on to build or to buy, the dilemma of a prospective homeowner in Ghana. It's an interesting piece. You may want to get to that, to get to read, find out for yourself what he has in there. Okay.
Okay. So that's it for the newspaper review. We're going to take a quick break or short break. When we come back, we'll be diving into sports. Israel has something to say right now.
Well, yeah, we'll be getting into sports. Rick Wapofo will be here to bring you the sport, but then we'll have the conversation about CK Akono's sacking. And I'm saying that my personal position is that, look, we can sack the coaches, as many coaches as we want, and we've been sacking coaches. But if we don't look at the fundamentals, consider the issues that are plaguing Ghana football, we'll keep sacking and nothing.
Keep sacking and nothing will change. Well, you hear so much more because we will have some football pundits, you know, really assess whether this was a good move or not. Last week when Israel didn't come to work, and I did the show by myself, I was talking to George Adam Jr. He had been calling for the sacking of CK Akono because he had said that they didn't even have confidence in him in the first place because they had such a massive technical team who were, you know, kind of having to run the squad because they didn't actually have a lot of confidence in the coach. So it looks as if, you know, this was a foregone conclusion, maybe from the beginning even. Did we set him up to fail? Is that what we did? Was it the best decision that was made in the first place? Or we'll explore all of those angles when we come back. So don't go anywhere. It's a quick break, and then it's sports with Ereku, and then it's back with just the two of us.